And okay, so from what I heard, this is just according to Mike Zero in the future Star Wars content. He said that apparently they had a lot of Sith lore that they were going to go into, and there was going to be some detailed story, in depth stuff that maybe even brought Kylo's and Palpatine's story into it a little bit more organically or somehow. But of course, that was all cut according to Mike Zero. Kathleen Kennedy had to, get more of Zori Bliss character and all the other people. She insisted that they remove. There was more Luke Skywalker and there was Anakin. Like Hayden Christensen was in this movie. He had some scenes, and I'm dying to see his an interview with him after this. He's like, "Yeah, I was there for like a week, and we filmed 5 scenes."
You would have to buy the Blu-ray with the special, the features and all the shit.
And they'll have some weird, release the Snyder cut or whatever, and it'll be like a 4-hour. I mean, it's like I can see why originally Jar Jar Abrams wanted to do like a 2-movie. Why he said he wanted to do this in 2 movies. I can see why, because it would have given him a whole movie to develop. Get Rey and Poe and Finn to like on board as a trio again. It's like this should have been the first movie. Anyway.
No, it was a complete ripoff. The problem with this is he rips everything off. Everything that happens in this movie was from another combination of all the other freaking movies. He just manipulates things and twists it around and takes from this and takes from that. There's not one original thought in this entire movie. That's the problem with this. We even said, I hated Rian Johnson for what he did, but at least he gave something new. This dude he completely hacked. He just did a hacksaw job and stole from everything else to make a movie, and just nothing was earned. That's what everything was taken. Every sequence, the ending was from A New Hope. The ending, everything was
broken. Say here, JJ. Here's the broken pieces. Put Humpty Dumpty back together. Somehow make it work.
And he did a Frankenstein job out of it.
Yeah.
He put it
exactly.
It was like
Kylo's helmet.
Yeah, like Kylo's helmet. Well, worse than that. It was like as if they put Kylo's helmet back together with the front missing, or it put it backwards, or so that he couldn't put it on. He would have to put it on like they reshaped it like pants.
And they used duct tape, and all around was just duct tape, and you could just see duct tape, and he had they had missing pieces, so they just duct taped certain areas so that it was there. That's what it would have looked like.
That's a fan film right there. That's a meme that they're duct taping it back together with red duct tape. They're duct taping back his helmet back together, and they did that for like what? Did he put it on for like one scene? He put the helmet back on for one scene, didn't he? So they show this whole scene of them reassembling it, and then he puts it on for like one scene, and then he has it off again. I mean, it's their agent saying it's the agent's fault in that situation. They're just saying, "Oh, we got to see his face more. He's got to be because we want people to see his face, because they want him to be."
Mandalorian doesn't have that agent.
His stipulation. It's in the fine print, and this contract must see his face.
At some point. Do you guys want me to finish this review, or do you want to just go? Let's just go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
So we'll read some more of this Sam guy. It's pretty funny. I mean, some of this is pretty funny. Where did it go? Okay, so here we are. He hates it, blah, blah, blah. Let's see, where were we? The entire film is basically a linear search for a shitty MacGuffin. Characters act passively. Well-known characters are thrown into a mix haphazardly and get nothing to do, of course, with Lando. The moment I know this movie was inherently effed up was when, in the last act, it was a moment that I can only describe as the film's attempt at Avengers Endgame, Avengers Assemble moment. Do you guys know do you remember what he's talking about there?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What part was that? Was that when they were all jumping on?
The part that I said, remember, was like Endgame. Again, spoiler alert. That part with the rings that came, that come, and then at the end when just like, hey, we're out of sorry, God. Remember, he's like he thinks he could take on the fleet with just a few ships, and then all of a sudden, nowhere, we saw that in the trailer, right? Those ships that come out, and just all these ships come out of nowhere, and it's like, hey, everybody's here. Hey guys,
now I know what you're talking about exactly. I for a second I couldn't remember what he meant, but yeah, exactly. And then there's like billions of star. It's like the billions of ships and more ships everywhere. Like the giant the new order fleet that like literally a trillion star destroyers. It's like you do realize all you're doing is just exercising your Photoshop skills or whatever. It's like
the final order.
Everything. The Knights of Ren, what a waste. What a waste. They were just so wasted. They didn't even do barely did anything.
I'm glad
they should have had a major part in episode 8, the Knights of Ren.
Yeah,
that's where they should have shined.
Yep. And I think it's funny how all of a sudden they know that he's like, so when he faces off with the Knights of Ren, that was silly because they already know for some reason that he's turned. Like, why would they already know? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like all of a sudden they're against him, but I'm like, how do they know that he's changed? All he did was throw his lightsaber away. He's dressed the same. It's like they
could sense the force within him.
Okay.
It's because he changed his clothes.
Okay.
Well, he took his other clothes off. A layer of
but they aren't Sith Lords, so it's like that part that's not explained. So we have no idea. Let's see. Everything seems lost, but moment, and it felt nothing. It felt nothing. I agree. You're supposed to feel a cocktail of intense, positive emotions during that moment, but I felt nothing. Why? Because it felt undeserved. It felt cheap. It felt by the numbers. It felt insecure.
Everything was undeserved. Every relationship, every moment, everything was done in such a manner that was so quickly rushed through. And it just, nothing seemed like it was set up properly, and everything that happens at the end feels like everything is undeserved because we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know why things happen, why things don't happen. Powers just appear when they need to appear. They disappear when they don't need to appear. They don't appear. Relationships just magically, oh, look, we like each other now. Now we don't like each other. Now we like each other. There's no moment where they sit down and they actually have a moment where they feel something, where they talk, where they explore their feelings, anything. It's none of that. There's no sequence where they actually explore something.
I think he tried to do that with Finn, Poe, and Rey. He was trying to build them so he would have these random things that have them get upset at each other and get them angry, and so they would. I mean, he tried to do that.
I was talking about the new girl, the girl that was Poe's girlfriend, the one that they have this relationship. She hates him, then she likes him, then she doesn't like him at the end again. And for some reason, they have this off and on weird ass relationship that I can't really understand. Although she was kind of sexy, I have to say. Sorry, I threw that in. She had a nice eye.
She. What was the moment? She actually says, "He's like, I learn well," and she's like, I'm a good teacher. It was like constant still virtue signaling BS where you have to constantly knock the men down to feel subservient to the women. It's just,
well, I will say there was less of that in this. Like, we have to be honest, there was not. I mean, while Rey was super Rey, I mean, like Rey on steroids in this, I still think that there wasn't a sentiment of anti-man in this. I will say that, right?
Yeah, it's like I'm hypersensitive because I'm hypersensitive, so I see it, and when I see it I get pissed anyway. Yeah, but I agree.
Like Poe, Poe he's in charge now, but he's so insecure. I was like, I could never be like Leia.
Right, but that's something that they've built in the comics.
You got to start reading the chats because you're not giving props.
I'm trying to, but I'm trying
angry. You're getting ornery.
Okay, hold on.
Hell, the high ground. Hey, daddy pants.
Yeah, no, they were about to rumble there in a minute. I'm just kidding. Ups and downs. So let's see. Let's go back here. Yeah, man. Sorry, guys. Forgive us. We're just trying to, this is therapy for me. So I appreciate all of you hanging out with us. This is total therapy for me. And apparently Luke Skywalker was going to be in this movie a little bit more, and they pulled a lot of his scenes too. Michael Stark says he was so depressed that he used diazepam pills. I haven't. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Daddy Pants. Thomas, I don't really care about what you like. Okay, so yeah, they're fighting. I'm just kidding.